All right. So, look, everybody's already here. We're not even doing the door knock gimmick or anything like that. We're going straight into it. We've got a lot to talk about. It's special week. We had a show all planned, but then we scrapped it because obviously this is the week of San Diego Comic Con, and we also got a trailer for Doomsday, Apocalypse, Ragnarok, whatever the End of Days trailer for Avengers, whatever. So look, we're gonna get right into it. Robert, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Jabba, are you ready? Your mic is muted.
I know. Damn it. I'm not Jabba. I'm Doomsday. At least for today.
Vindication. All right, folks. So yes, we've got everybody's here. We're ready. We all came over, so we're gonna start the show in about yada yada yada. Hey, folks, and welcome to another episode of our Summer of Geek series. But this is a special episode for the show where we are going to be talking about some of the big things that are happening this week or that have already happened, actually. But before that, we've got to get the introductions going. Like I said, this is the Summer of Geek series. And this is on the Hungry Bleak channel. I'm going to keep playing this cord so they snap out of my ears. I hate wireless. I'm so glad I got my umbilical cord cut when I was a child. It's a special request order when I was born. I'm Bluetooth since 77, baby. I am Antonio Pomares, aka the Hungry Bleak, the hungriest man in the room.
What's up? It is Jabba Chamba. For today, I am Doomsday. Doomsday!
And I am Robert Jeffrey II, aka Rob the Writer.
All right, so let's get right into it, folks. There was a big trailer that dropped on Monday, obviously, and that was for Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday. This is going to be a return to square one, kind of a sort of, maybe, what have you. I don't know. The trailer was about 2 minutes, 15 seconds, something like that, or whatever. It actually dropped like online. Obviously, it's even on Disney Plus if you have that. I think it's on Hulu too as well. Or by this point, I think both the accounts are blended if you have them by now. Except you can't get General Hospital on Disney Plus.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think it's something to do with the rights, I want to say. So everything else I watch is on there except for General Hospital. So I have to still watch that on Hulu.
You figure after like all like the ER hospital type of shows, like General Hospital would be like the number one thing on there.
It's usually like number one or number two on Hulu.
Wow.
Like every week. Well, because it's a weekly figure.
Right.
But yes, so I think it has something to do with the rights, what have you. Anyway. Yes, the trailer was on there, and we get to see everyone who we've already seen. And look, I am an analyst, regardless of how I feel or what have you. I am an analyst. I look at these things and I review. So I'm going to put my particular thoughts aside as far as how I feel about what we should have gotten instead of what we did get. So this is basically Feige was asked if this is a reboot. He said, no, it's not going to be a reboot. Because I think that was a big thing. People thought this was going to be like kind of a reboot to set things right. You would need more than this to set things right, Mr. Feige. And we got a lot of the scenes that we got returning favorites, some new favorites. One of the things that stuck out to me the most was Thor was basically us. I want to say a lot of the fan base, he's like, look, the people I fought with were like incredible. They were amazing. They were like some of the best ever. And they're all dead. So what do you think any of you are going to do?
Yeah.
He basically just was like, you guys aren't. He's basically coming into it and realizing, wait, this is like the fifth, sixth phase. He's like, wait, this is what we got. I want to say I'm excited about it. I'm not necessarily excited about it. But I do like to see the fact that we got Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Here we have oh my God, what's Channing Tatum's Gambit
Yeah.
is here.
I'm about to make a name for myself. How long I've been waiting for this.
He looks better in the general small step that I saw. He looks better in this movie than he did in Deadpool. I think maybe it's his second time around. He's a little bit more comfortable. Maybe, I'm not sure. Even though he had been training for this movie for like 37 years for that role. We also see the return of Mjolnir, all assembled. And at the very end, we get to see Chris Evans, who some people are saying that might not actually be Cap. that it might be somebody else. People have been saying, or an evil Cap, possibly Hydra Cap, maybe. I don't know. Even though he was still able to call Mjolnir. So I don't know. But the biggest thing is that we've got Doom. Obviously, we're going to be getting RDJ returning, Chris Evans returning as Rogers. We have Sam Wilson's Captain America. We have a lot going on here. Your thoughts, feelings, emotions, quandaries.
I mean,
qualms.
well, can we do a shout out that we're gonna get the OG Mystique back?
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah, OG Mystique is coming back, and that's including like the actress that played in the original X-Men.
Yes, Rebecca Romaine.
So she's coming back. Also, so my thoughts on this is that we're seeing new scenes from things, but I don't know how true that is. Because remember, if you watch enough of like the Marvel trailers, they throw in extra stuff, and you don't see that in the movie.
Yeah.
So like we don't know how true it might just be faking us out. Also, in regards to that, I'm wondering, are they gonna? Because obviously we see Loki in there from the TVA. I'm wondering if they're gonna add on Daredevil. If they're gonna play any part, like so we're getting random people popping in that we didn't see in the previous one or didn't even get thought about. And also I'm a throw in there, because it's coming out at the end of this month, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Where's that all coming through? Because normally after like every Marvel movie or show is gonna be like, you're gonna see this person in Doomsday. And with Spider-Man, especially now, because nobody just know who he is, and then there's a whole multiverse, where does that happen? Like, what are we getting?
So I enjoyed the trailer. I think I do still have kind of, I don't want to say misgivings, but there are things that I'm still on the fence about, specifically RDJ as Doom, or Tony Stark as Doom, or just him playing the role. The thing that I did like about Doom was his presence. He seemed like a force, the big bad that everybody should be afraid of. It was cool seeing all of the different groups of heroes, there, Fantastic Four, the Wakandans, the X-Men from their, universe. I mean, they weren't there, but, then the Thunderbolts or the New Avengers. So it's funny because 3 or 2 movies, which it seemed like, generally speaking, the fandom wasn't like huge fans of, I enjoyed, like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. It's like the Russos are like, you're going to enjoy them now, right? So it's just like you have no choice but to encounter these 2 groups from these 2 movies that apparently they didn't like. So if they found a way to fit the Eternals in there, I would be ecstatic. that would be great. But it's this is their Hail Mary. So I think they did a good job of getting people at least interested enough to show up. I think that trailer officially went over like millions upon millions or whatever. So
0.6 million views within 2 days.
Yeah. So it's like numbers, right? They're running up the numbers because they need this. The last couple of phases weren't accepted as well for a number of reasons as they wanted. So there's a reason they brought in new directors. There's a reason they brought in RDJ, and it's just like the oldies. So I think it's a good effort, and I'm interested enough to go and check it out. Yeah, it was a good trailer. I think it was a solid trailer. But it's coming with like a bit of baggage, so it's just kind of interesting to kind of see where it goes from here.
Yeah, trailer's good. I still rather have a Blade movie and a Shang-Chi sequel.
Fair.
This is just returning to form. It looks good. It's shiny. It's a shiny new toy. That all like them are like, oh my god, yeah, shiny new toy. Yeah. Oh, hold on, the MCU is back. Pump your brakes there, Pietro. Pump your brakes. slow down.
So I have a question.
Yes.
As as the quote unquote the movie watcher and TV show watcher, but not directly on the comics. To throw it back to Fantastic Four, since that where Doctor Doom pretty much resides in that realm of comics. Even though we did see a clip of him at the end of Fantastic Four, I'm trying to think, was he ever, if I remember, was he ever mentioned in the movie at all?
Doom or which?
Yeah. I'm just talking about Doom before. I'm talking Victor Von Doom before he became Doom. Was he ever mentioned in the Fantastic Four? Because I know he showed up at the end, but I'm just trying to think of was he mentioned, since that is where he came from.
So the only mention I remember from the new movie that was Doom related was them mentioning Latveria, and that was when they were at the United Nations. So that, but as far as Victor, I don't remember that.
Because I'm only trying to see how he would play, because like I said, since he is a villain, but he came from Fantastic Four, and since they had Fantastic Four, but he wasn't the villain for the movie, I was wondering if there was any mention involved, or could it be another multiverse?
It's all multiverse. It's all multiverse. It's all multiverse. That's what pisses me off. Because I said once they started going into this, they were going to take it too far. And you give them a country mile, I mean that's like that's it. They're going to take the whole county, and they did that with it, and they just went too far. Now they're trying to sweep up the mess that they made because they made too far. So now we have questions like that, like, is this multiverse? My answer is it's all multiverse at this point. It's all, anybody you see is from different realities, different everything. Like even with the what if, it's all, the only person that's consistent is the Watcher. That's the only person that you can count on being, Uatu is the Watcher. That's the only person, and that's because he goes through all of them. That's the only consistent person, only one. Everybody else you just think is part of a different one, unfortunately.
Because when they show Cap, and Cap had his beard, I'm one, he would add an age quickly, because he went back from Endgame, aged out because he was old, and then when they showed him in I think it was one of the first trailers of Doomsday, he was a lot younger, but we don't know what time frame he was in, unless he got cloned. I'm just saying. Or unless it's his kid that looks exactly like him. Just saying.
This is the mess that we have. This is the mess that we have. We don't know anything. We don't know what time, anything.
I think the other thing with and I always say this is as a fan of sliders, but the easy storytelling thing that you get with the multiverse is that it allows you to bring back these actors, right? It allows you to bring back people who you thought had left, exit stage left. And, like I mentioned before, this whole thing is a pivot because of, the reactions to, I think, phase 4 and phase 5. It was a combination of COVID. It was a combination of Disney Plus being we need all the content that you can put on screen. It was a combination of some of the stuff not hitting as well as before. There are a number of things that have led to us getting the movie that we're getting, today. And it's the guy who directed Shang-Chi was supposed to direct this movie. And, so it was funny because when they announced that the Russos were coming in to do this, and what's the other one? Secret Wars after this, people were yelling at me because I was just y'all, they're going back to what's safe rather than trying a new director, a director who is not white, who will have a chance to once again show that, he can, once again show that it's not just white guys that can make these movies. So, I think that definitely, like you said, Antonio, there is a shiny kind of vibe to this, but what was funny to me is that I saw Kevin Feige, because I think he's doing press for Spider-Man. He said, we got stuff planned out to 2042. I was just seriously? Because, that's the thing, because you don't say something like that when you know that these next two movies are the ones that are going to make or break Marvel Studios. That's kind of how I feel, because they've done so much. Like, everything about this is very safe, and from the directors, from the writers that they brought in to just everybody. So, like I said, even though I still enjoyed the trailer, it is that thing of like, I need people to do the homework to understand how we got here, is because things weren't working out the way that they wanted them to. So, that's, and I think that's kind of what's lost. Even though you can enjoy the trailer, it's just like, sometimes people got to get inside baseball with this stuff and understand that there's a lot riding on this. And the thing that frustrates me is that the introduction of the X-Men universe is riding on this. It's like, if this doesn't do good, they might pivot again. And, so I don't know. But that's, kind of where it's at for me. It's kind of a weird thing to enjoy, the trailer, because it's just like, behind the scenes is just, y'all weren't doing what you needed to get here. And the multiverse is an easy storytelling method. And that's how they're going to explain away RDJ coming back.
But then they have to clean up the mess from it. That's what annoys me. It's easy, but then afterwards you have to clean everything up. So that's what bothers me, because then we have to sit through you cleaning it up. When we had a nice, good way of going of how they were. Blade was announced 7 years ago.
Yep, I saw that. I'm like, damn.
And I didn't realize I thought it was like 3-4 years, truthfully. I didn't realize it had been 7. I was like, wait, 7? It was 7 years that Mahershala had that cap on. I think that's the only cap too. That cap is probably like a collector's edition. That's like the only Blade cap you'll ever find, ever. And I'm like, wow, really? That's ridiculous. And Shang-Chi not getting a sequel, seeing Shang-Chi and Gambit, like Gail Simone chimed, and I loved it. I love Gail Simone's social media, even though I don't like social media in general, because she just says the most ridiculous things and just sits back, because she enjoys the engagement. She enjoys telling jokes and everything. She just has fun with it. And some people don't know who she is, or they're trolling her. And she was like, Gambit versus Shang-Chi. I write Gambit, but Shang-Chi is going to wash Gambit every time. And I was like, yeah. And to see the two of them going, and I don't know what the context of the scene is. It could be, I don't know, them just meeting, what have you, and they pop in a room or whatever. I don't know, whatever. And Shang-Chi's just testing it out, because Shang-Chi goes full out. It's done. It's over. Powers or not, it's done. It's over. But there's certain things I'm looking at, and I'm like, Shang-Chi should have had a sequel. We should have had something else to follow up Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. In this movie, we're getting 4 royal members, I want to say. We're getting Namor. No, is it 3? Namor. Oh my God. Why am I all of a sudden blanking out? We're not getting Black Bolt that we know of, because I'm sure there's going to be more than one Black Bolt. But the Black Bolt that we did see kind of just blew the back of his own head out trying to say a word. That's still one of the most brutal deaths I've ever seen in a movie. That was horrific. Namor. We're getting Black Panther. I don't know if Doom considers himself royalty. I know he's the leader of Latveria, but I don't think he's ever been like king or any like type of royal title. I don't think.
I mean, in his mind, he thinks he is. And tell me, what about, and then it would be Thor, right?
Thor passed on king to Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
But I guess if you want to go by bloodline,
maybe.
I guess he would be considered after Odin.
Yeah.
Maybe we should War of the Kings. I don't know, whatever. But to have the X-Men, like Robert was saying, this is like right on the razor's edge. If this don't work out, the next big franchise that you want to introduce, you're putting it in this film.
And you've been teasing it a lot, at least from Deadpool. Well, actually, both Deadpools, actually, from the second one, and Deadpool and Wolverine.
And X-Men 97. I mean, I feel that X-Men 97 is them testing the waters. It's a very expensive way to test the waters, but to see if, this and that X-Men 97 plus them now involving the Fox X-Men into Doomsday. I don't know if they're going to make it the Secret Wars, but that's the next big franchise, and it's this weird thing that the success of a franchise that could do well by itself is now kind of, like you said, on the razor's edge. It is depending on 2 Avengers movies to usher it in. Because they tried it with the Inhumans because they didn't have the rights to the mutants, and now that they have the rights to it, I mean, maybe just overall they're going to go ahead with X-Men no matter what this does, no matter what kind of money this makes. But I don't know. Like it's weird that we are discussing an Avengers movie and not feeling that it's a sure bet to actually, to put butts in the seat. But like we are now 6 or 7 years removed from when going to the movies was a regular thing, when COVID wasn't keeping us at home, and when people weren't burnt out for whatever reason on the superhero movies. There are a variety of reasons why people aren't going to the theaters, and it's not just superhero fatigue. That's a larger discussion for another day. But it is strange that even like Age of Ultron, we were like, oh man, that's gonna be the ish, right? And now like we're at a point now where we're like, Doomsday, Secret Wars, maybe. That's the thing. So it's it just goes to show what a bunch of how decisions can kind of get things kind of off track, and it's not just one thing. There are a variety of reasons why this is probably not going to be a sure bet for like a lot of people, because for as many people as I saw saying like they really enjoyed the trailers, I saw people saying I tapped out 5 years ago. I can't be excited. And I, like I said, I can understand that. But it's like I said, it's strange. It's strange with Marvel Studios. So
yeah, I mean, this is where we're at. We had a taste of X-Men in Marvels. We had a taste of X-Men also in. There was another movie where we got a taste of X-Men, not Deadpool. There was something else where we got a taste of X-Men.
The other adjacent thing would have been Miss Marvel, where they introduced the idea of the mutants and in the MCU.
No, it was a movie. I want to say that there was something else that teased the X-Men. I can't remember what it is, but the one that I can remember the most is the Marvels, because Monica Rambeau, who if we don't see Monica Rambeau,
she just gone. She is just gone.
I saw she's posting up on Instagram. I get, all right, girl, you back. You get all right. Let's get her in this. Let's do. Please. If she's feeling okay, because I know she had a baby. Congratulations to her. Not like I know her or anything, but just congratulations to you, family, and everything. I know she had a baby. Doing whatever you gotta do. Got the family, got the love, everything like that going on. But if she's good, if she's set, if she's ready, if she's not in this movie and she's good and she's set and she's ready to return to everything, I'm gonna be mad as hell, because when she left, I said, "This is the." Oh my god. I mean, we got the X-Men, but then I was like, okay, Monica is one of those characters that at a point, she was one of like the lead Avengers. Like she was that person, and she's one of the most powerful beings, low key. And I'm like, there's certain things I want them to, let me try to be positive about this. Let me put on a positive fit. I do like the fact of, again, Thor kind of being us and looking around and saying, this isn't the team, this isn't it, what have you. And kind of being like that OG to bring back, oh man, I told you I wouldn't come back because like we need you. It's like, I guess I got to suit up again. If I hear suit up, we honestly don't need it. This could be a big opportunity for them to introduce characters from other multiverses to bring them in and then meld them. I don't know what they'll do. I'm a fan of Doom. Loki. I haven't read everything Doom, but I'm a fan of Doom just because of his arrogance and how he's like. Some people say he's scarred horribly underneath the mask. Some people say he just has a little scar, but because he's so vain, he just covered his entire body. I don't know. I also like the fact of maybe we're getting the Stark that said, imagine us putting the entire world in a suit of armor and protecting it. This is a definite link to Age of Ultron, which I was actually going to try watching today because I enjoy that movie. I don't know why that movie gets so much hate.
It's a good movie.
It is. But I think it's also the fact of people are maturing now, because at a point people said, oh, Eternals wasn't a good movie. Now y'all talk about, Eternals was actually a good movie. Yeah, we know, idiot.
Yeah, like
we knew that before, but it was, y'all said y'all wanted something different. They gave you something different. You said, no, not like that. Like the same. It's like, so same, different? Yeah. Okay. What?
Supergirl. I'm sorry. Like
for real. For real. So I think it's sometimes, unfortunately, the audience has to become emotionally intelligent and actually go and be more open. And now, so this movie might be bad, and then 10 years from later we'll go, you know what, Avengers Doomsday was actually a really banging movie. And Feige is gonna like pull out his hair, he's gonna stop wearing hats, he's gonna be done. That's it. I like the fact that we did get the X-Men. Mystique looks amazing. Rebecca Romijn coming back. That's the, and no offense to Jennifer
Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence to that, but I just love Rebecca Romijn's Raven. I just love her. And I hated the fact that they took her powers away in that. That felt like such a violation of everything. So even then we're gonna say, how does she get her powers back? What have you? Again, this is a different Mystique too. The outfit was giving very much.
It was from the cartoon. Yeah, from the comics.
Yeah, the outfit was very much like, oh, okay. It's giving.
Because in the OG one, she was like just naked.
Yeah, which is probably also why.
Yeah.
And there were people complaining about like why she got clothes on. I'm like, stop typing. Like just
like, she wears clothes. It's just like, are you different from like the original movie? I'm like,
I think that's what they were talking about. Yeah, and it's just.
But I can understand that, because if she's back, you want that. But also, this is still Disney.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing I was thinking is like, I don't put faith into people. And anyway, sorry, that's a diatribe for another day. Yeah, everything about the X-Men part of it, especially Cyclops, just worked. And then also them giving this kind of redemption to James Marsden is amazing. And like you said, Rebecca Romijn, because like I see her a lot now on Star Trek, the Strange New Worlds. Like she is amazing actress. So it's cool them bringing like pretty much like kind of the great. Well, I can't say all the greatest hits, because there's a couple of people who have been very vocal about not being in the movies. I know Famke Janssen said, yeah, they didn't call me. And I don't think Halle Berry has even said anything about. So it would have been great to see if they had brought back that core squad. But who knows? We got a whole Avengers movie that comes after this one, and maybe they'll pop up in that. But as far as for like, before I forget, comic book recommendations, correct me if I'm wrong, the Hickman run of, is it Secret Wars?
Anything. Hickman run of anything.
So as
it
far
doesn't
as
matter.
So that no, that ties into this specifically.
Oh! I thought you meant in general. I was like, anything.
Yeah.
Secret Wars. I want to say people. I never read it, but people say that one definitely. And
Battle World.
His New Avengers, where it's the Illuminati, and they talk about incursions.
Yeah,
that's another one.
Yeah, so those are two. So for like recommendations, like the Hickman run, Avengers. New Avengers, and then
when Doom took over for Iron Man.
Okay.
Is that Invincible Doom?
It might be.
So that I think will tie in, because like we don't. In all fairness, we don't know exactly where this is going.
Yeah.
I have a funny question, kind of like a funny bet. Okay, so we know obviously, I think what was it last year when Robert Downey Jr. came in and exposed himself as like, Doom.
All right, I didn't know where you were going with that. I was like,
no,
we're about to end this show quick.
No.
I ain't got money for that type of lawyer. I got to get out of here. Gosh, we're done.
No, so like he came in, like he just like removed the mask, like okay, so like, oh, he's gonna be Doom. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to put a small little bet and where he doesn't even remove his mask the entire movie.
That would be amazing. if that happens, hold on.
The entire movie.
So that would be in keeping with Doom, right? Because we don't see a lot of. If you read the comics, we don't see a lot of his face. Like that's right. But if they kept that in, I might accept that RDJ coming back, because at least he wasn't vain enough of like, they got to see my face. Like, no, we don't. That's the best idea associated with this movie that I've heard in a while. That would be great.
Like, if he does not remove his mask at all, because I could clearly see if he removes his mask, because it was all within the same universe, and obviously they see he's like, oh no, it's Tony Stark, but why are you like this stuff? And like, no, you don't know who it is. I'm just a new person. Just tear up shit.
And he has an accent. He has, because I think like Doom's Latvian accent is supposed to be like Eastern European or something. So he does this like really bad Eastern European like accent. I would love that. If he never takes his mask off, that would be amazing. I would actually clap at the end of even if it's shitty. Like I would just be like, you did it. You did
Isn't that the voice that we hear at the beginning of the trailer, or is that someone else?
So that's what people were saying. Like I think that it's Doom, but then also I kept thinking it was Nightcrawler, and like I said, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I think most people were saying that it was supposed to be Doom. I put the subtitles on because I'm old and I wanted to see what people were saying, but they don't assign a specific name to that first line of dialogue. So
I don't think it's Nightcrawler because what's his name? Alan
Cumming.
Yes, Alan Cumming.
Mm-hmm.
He does like that wasn't him.
Okay.
I want to say that wasn't him. And it would be odd to have Nightcrawler. Like not odd, but I would say it would be odd for all the people to be narrating the end of the world would be Nightcrawler.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
You look at the faith. You look at religion and faith. I mean, that's the perspective I was coming at it from.
I don't think it. I think for him it would be more about hope. He's so hopeful and such a believer.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't. But the voice didn't sound like RDJ. But again, I don't think I've ever heard RDJ do an Eastern European accent in any movie. I don't think I have. So if that would be something different and new, I just really want to hear Doom's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Because Doom has such a distinct voice, especially for it to come out of the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I want it, because Doom's voice is his presence. Yes, the suit and the armor and everything, but his voice is his presence. Like that's the thing. Like you don't have to see his face ever. His voice and his eyes, are his presence. And the minute you hear, it was almost like when Sir Ian McKellen first did Magneto. When he did it, I was like, bet he can do Magneto from the grave. I'm good. He just captured it in such a way. I don't know how I feel about him with the long hair. I don't know. It's kind of long and kind of Shirley Temple.
I do like that bond that they had in the trailer where they were like trying to get together. I'm just like, oh, come on.
I hope they finally admit that they were lovers and this is all about a breakup. X-Men is all about two exes being mad at each other and not being able to forgive the other. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
I believe it.
But I do love seeing Patrick and Ian together I could see them just eating breakfast and be riveted on the screen. They would get every award because their chemistry is so cool and so awesome, and they just have this aura together. Yeah. So this is going to be coming out in December.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say we'll probably we'll be getting more news from this, I'm sure, from New York Comic Con. Hall H always has something coming out of it. If by some chance this is a huge swerve and Blade is in the movie and turns up, you know what? I'll eat my hat, and I will just not literally, figuratively, because I got a lot of hats. I will, what have you. But I want this to do well because I want the resurgence of these movies because they're good movies, they're fun movies, and there's something to go to and see, and you could forget for a couple of hours what happened, and you can see new characters, old characters, just have fun. I want this to do well, but you have to do better.
Mm-hmm. I'm also giving it 3 hours for time run.
Damn. Yeah.
I'm giving. I mean, like if Endgame was 3 hours, I'm giving Doomsday 3 hours.
Oh, my bladder.
Yeah.
I'm giving it 3 hours, at least, if not 2 hours and 45 minutes.
That's still too much.
The struggle will be real.
Mhm.
I'm at a point now where I got to run at the theater. I got to run back, but I missed Queen Ramona's death because I had to go to the bathroom.
No.
I came back in, and everybody was like, "Oh man," and I was like, "What happened? What?" And I saw her dead. I said, "Bruh," because as the city was being overtaken by the flood, I had to go and create my own flood.
No.
I was so mad. I said, "Wait, they killed." The theater was upset. I walked in, and they was looking at me like, I was like, "Whoa." Yeah. So we'll see what more comes out from this. Again, this is New York Comic Con, so we'll be getting more stuff that'll be coming out. Obviously, we'll be getting more news because New York Comic Con starts tomorrow, Thursday, actually.
San Diego?
So yeah, San Diego.
San Diego.
As a Ron Burger would say, San Diego, which means a Wales. Well, never mind. Anyway, if you know that movie, thank you. That is
I'm in a box of emotions. Sorry.
Milk was a bad choice. Yes, it was. It was a hard. Who drinks milk to quench your thirst?
I think you killed a man. Sorry. Sorry. Oh my god.
I need to watch that again.
Yeah.
There's so many jokes. While you're laughing, you'll miss 5 other jokes. That movie is ridiculous. I remember being in theater, and I think for the first time I had like an 8-pack because I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Yo, this is the best workout ever." So yes, Avengers Doomsday will be coming out in December. More news will be coming out about it, obviously, from San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm guessing actually at New York Comic-Con as well. We'll be getting more that'll be coming out. But right now, we'll wait for some Hall H news, obviously, to be coming out. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, speaking of San Diego Comic-Con is starting, like I said, tomorrow. And there's going to be a lot going on. There's panels. There's going to be signings. There's going to be people buying stuff. There's going to be cosplay. This is the origin of Comic-Cons. It started in a basement, I want to say, and it was a Star Wars.
Sounds so creepy.
Meetup. Yeah, I did not paint that in the best light, did I?
That sounds so creepy.
I didn't, did I?
No.
No, I didn't. No, yeah. So let's say a lower floor. It was a lower floor of a venue, and it started from there. It started with like Star Wars, and it grew from that to be the inspiration for so many other cons and all over the country, all over the world, and it ended up spawning a sibling con here on the East Coast, which is New York Comic Con. So those are 2 big cons for this. But San Diego Comic Con is the beginning of it, the end. And what are some things that you're looking, as far as like news or even panels and things that you're looking forward to hearing about or even seeing or reading about from San Diego Comic Con?
So for me, I'll double Dutch in here. There are a couple of panels. One is the one that I have up. One of the big things about San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, any of the larger conventions, and actually smaller and mid-size, is networking. If you want to be an artist, anything, if you want to do anything in comic books. So one of the events that's going to be San Diego Comic-Con adjacent is the Writers Coffee House at San Diego Comic-Con Thursday from 2:15 to 4:15. And it is just a networking event for writers. It is, I think it's a more formal event, kind of networking event. So one thing I will tell people who are going out to the convention, as somebody who has never gone to San Diego Comic-Con, but I've been to New York Comic-Con, it's like, this is the advice I'll give, but I ain't never been there, is that you look for, you want to network as much as possible, especially if these are fields that you want to get into. And the fact that this is a free event that is probably going to be accepting and just kind of open for writers to come in and speak with actually big names like that are listed. One of the ones that I'm very familiar with is Jonathan Mayberry. He is a comic book writer, did a really good run on Black Panther. Some of his work with Shuri was actually featured in Wakanda Forever. He writes a very, very awesome series called focused on a character named Joe Ledger. I call it 24 meets actually Rainbow Six meets X-Files. check it out. It's being turned into a TV show. And then also he is a creator of V Wars. V Wars was on Netflix as it was a TV show about I think it was like the vampirism was like a disease or something that you could get affected from. But a longtime novelist, comic book writer, but he's like one of the guys that's going to be there. And you can, just go and network with writers that are kind of on his level, but also at various levels going from like the mainstream to indie. So this is just one event that I came across, which was focused specifically on networking. But I do advise that you'll find if there are different panels that are focused on writing or different publishers or, people who would be open to actually, meeting you and just networking and trying to find work and get advice on breaking into writing. But yeah, the Writers Coffee House at San Diego Comic-Con, if you're there, definitely check it out from 2:15 to 4:15, and the information is up here on the screen. But definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Java? What are you looking forward to hearing or seeing or reading about from Comic-Con?
Usually for me, it's just like looking at all the cosplays. I like seeing like from like people's social medias where like they go in and like say, oh, I created this, I created that. And like it's some really good dedicated stuff where I'm like, that's like a whole craft within itself that I would just be amazed to look at. And the fact that even some of the people that are just doing this just for fun, and it's not even like their actual job to like make props and outfits like that, I'm like, you should be in this field for that because you can make a good amount of money. You get definitely a lot of awards and rewards for doing that. Also, it's like I like to see the artist like in the artist alley because some people I see that are like super popular, and then I like for the smaller creators where I think to me they're big, but to others they might be small. I like seeing them actually getting into these bigger spaces because I know it's hard as a small creator to get into these big sizes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Cosplay is always amazing. And I know that people ramp it up when they're going to a bigger con as well, obviously. Whether it's your San Diego Comic-Con, whether it's your Dream Con, whether it's a New York Comic-Con, whether like what have like one that they'll be talking about probably a lot online or even nationwide. It's always cool to seeing indie creators get into larger spaces and being able to stretch their muscles more. And seeing how they do, and possibly maybe getting a gig from being there. Possibly maybe somebody by chance, a million to one shot, possibly somebody walks by and goes, oh, that's a really good Iron Fist, or whoever it is, or they're like, oh, this is your creation, like what, and asking about that, possibly anything like that. You never know, like somebody can drop a name and they're like, oh, okay, cool. Then they'll go and they'll check out, see if the person's there, maybe send out an assistant, go check, get the comic, whatever, check it out, and possibly something can happen. I'm always a fan of seeing indie creators go into larger spaces, flexing that muscle, stretching, seeing what they can do, and seeing, and in their mind going, okay, this is a larger space. I need to really push. I need to really like flex, and getting there, and something may be happening. Maybe something doesn't, unfortunately, but they're getting a larger audience, a larger crowd from maybe halfway across the country that they would not have gotten normally. And then coming back, and then they've got orders from there. They've got orders from Wyoming that they never got orders from. I'm just saying Wyoming. Orders from Canada, orders from Spain, orders from congratulations on the World Cup. We were just rooting for you because we didn't want Argentina to win, honestly. Stuff like that. So anything that brings more to indie creators and allows them to up their profile, up their money, and up the possibility of them getting work in different things and even in venues that they may not even thought of.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan for. I saw a lot of great. Oh yes.
I was gonna say just like one more thing for us, like creatives out there, for like artists and writers, like take the small wins when you can. Like don't always say like, oh, I didn't make table. We would always love to make table back, but if you can't take smaller wins when you can, because I remember I think I said to you, Antonio, in one of our chats where the last convention I was at, the voice actor for Sailor Jupiter, like my Sailor Moon picture.
Mhm.
I was thrilled. I'm like, all right, I didn't expect the voice actor to come like my piece. I'm happy with that. I get that happy for like, a couple hours. So it's like take like those little wins, even if like they didn't buy it, but like those little wins will still make you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still an acknowledgement for you, and it's something there. For me, something that I would have like, because there are a lot of panels. This is pretty much like the schedule for panels, which is crazy. I would love to. This is, and I actually like how they have it. They have it like by comic, movie, television, and then other panels, I guess. They've got some great ones. They've got like Aliens 40th anniversary, 40 years. I didn't realize they've been 40 years. That's crazy. Still one of my favorite movies. They have an advanced screening of Avatar and The Last Airbender, which would be cool. I know they have an advanced screening also of Batman Cape Crusader season 2.
Ooh.
Which is going to be. I thought the season was already up because it shows season 2 on Prime. I was like, oh, this is up. All right, cool, bet. I went on and had nothing there, and I was like, oh, you raggedy. Okay.
You dirty dog.
That's that's one way to say it. There's also a woman in comics panel, a horror edition, and I would love to go there to see Tanana Reeve do. I apologize if I say your name wrong. I feel like I'm putting so much na in your name that it's wrong. I feel like I'm adding extra letters, and every time I say your name, I'm so disappointed in myself on every level, cellular. But I would love to go see it because she's going to be talking about The Keeper. But I would just love to see that panel talking about women in comics and horror. I think that would be awesome. With that, they've got. I mean, there's so many different panels that you can go to. I mean, obviously, because you expect it. That there's a plethora of everything that you. I think there was one I saw that was tabletop gaming. So there's something for everyone. There's one for Gundams as well, to mechs. There's stuff about there. I think there's actually a couple of ones like Robert was saying. There's a couple of them about like pitching, like getting into those rooms, figuratively and literally getting into those rooms where you can pitch your work and and when you're in that room, like what to do, what not to do, things like that, which I think is great too to help you with your creative journey, your process, and help you to achieve those goals that you're looking to achieve. Honestly, What's another one that you're looking forward to, Robert?
So, little show is coming up called Lanterns. Yeah, so there's I think the show's going to premiere sometime in August, and as a part of San Diego Comic-Con, there's going to be first. I think it's called the Green Lantern Experience or something. It's something that attendees of San Diego Comic-Con can go to, and it will allow you to do some training to become a Green Lantern, which is pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of if you go to like the Star Wars park or something like Disney, and they kind of immerses you in that world, which is really cool. In between going to Artist Alley, going to all the panels and seeing the movies and stuff, something fun to do. But I want to say Saturday, if I'm looking up this right, they are going to have a Hall H panel, which is going to be there with the cast, the executive producers, and fans will be able to get a first look at the series. So I don't know if that's going to be like the full episode or just maybe some clips, but that'll be on Friday, Hall H, between 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. I think that's Pacific Standard Time or PST. But I like the fact that the show is going to have a presence at San Diego Comic-Con. One of the things I think is kind of unfortunate is that DC Studios hasn't announced that they are going to have a Hall H presentation. I think James Gunn straight up said that he wasn't going to attend, mainly because he's directing a movie. He's directing Man of Tomorrow here in Atlanta, Georgia, or at Georgia, somewhere in Georgia, which makes sense. But it just, with Clayface coming out later this year, and then I know there's been news about Creature Commandos, and maybe it's just, they don't really have much to talk about. But I do wish that Clayface would have had, I wish they would have done something for Clayface at least. But I am happy that Lanterns is going to be there, and that, hopefully we'll see some footage, which will I mean, if we were talking about people being on the fence about Avengers, it's like I've been hearing folks going back to when the brother was cast as Jon Stewart and being on the fence about this show. So I'm looking forward to the show because it's doing that whole genre mashing, kind of a true detective style murder mystery with space opera elements, Far Sector. But like
season 2.
Yeah,
season 2.
Hopefully season 2. That's what I'm hoping. But I'm looking forward to the show and just seeing what we get, from Hall H. And Hall H premieres are usually pretty big, especially with the trailers and the clips that we get from it. So, so we'll check it out. Lanterns will be at San Diego Comic-Con. If you're there, go check out the experience and the Hall H one. And give me 1 second. I thought I had the information about the whole take the oath thing, but I don't. But yeah, Lanterns will be at San Diego Comic-Con.
What's another one you want to check out or that you'd be interested in, Java?
Probably for any new animes that might drop if since Crunchyroll is going to be there, maybe you might have some different showcases and stuff. Because I know I'm always seeing sales coming in my emails are oh, buy this for a summer sale, but you never know because Crunchyroll's quiet with their stuff sometimes. They don't really announce too much. So maybe if we get some their fall/winter season or so, they might come up with something. I do want to see more DC, as me being biased as a DC fan, over Marvel, honestly. So more Lantern, which I'm more interested in, and any other stuff that might pop up. So give me more DC stuff, please and thank you.
I think Crunchyroll does more of, hey, you saw it at our booth, and then they just let it be there. I honestly. I think they don't. I think they do because Black Torch popped up the other week, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this was coming out yet, and I started watching that. They just let stuff pop up. They're just look, we know where you're going to be, because again, Demons of the Shadow Realm. I had never seen an advertisement for it, but I was at a booth that was right across from it, so I saw that image at least 30 times, and it was in my brain. And I was like, oh, okay. And it made me go, okay, I want to know where this was at. Maybe that's their way, like a brainwashing Manchurian effect kind of a thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, it would be. Well, DC has a few things there. I was going to say, they have, what was it? They have Nightfall, which I really want to see because Jean-Paul. They have the Absolute Universe stuff, which they're going to have that be animated stuff soon. So that's right up your alley, Java. Because I know you have a stack from your birthday. You got damn near all of them.
I still have to read them.
But those are good problems. I love that. They have, I think Saturday is a lot of DC. They have Metropolis and Beyond. I know they have something for Next Level.
Yeah.
As well. They've got a lot of panel stuff going on, but I think it's more for more of the comic side, I want to say, than movies and animated. But they do have Nightfall coming up, which is going to be a huge one because that's one of the biggest events in Batman lore, history, what have you, and a real catalyst for the Battle of the Cowl and all that stuff, which is going to be pretty cool. So seeing that, as I think that's going to be a 2-part movie.
It's 2 parts, yeah.
I want to say, which I would think for some reason for that one, I would say it should be a trilogy. I don't know why, but that one I'll say it should be a trilogy. But that's the one I'm actually excited to see, which should be awesome.
And just as a heads up, I'll send it to you later, Ashley. But Crunchyroll, it looks like they got stacked. they're stacked for San Diego, for the panels and stuff. So yeah.
I haven't. They don't usually. I think it's probably because it's already in October. I think I've ever been to a Crunchyroll panel at New York Comic Con, but they also have Anime NYC
that's probably
month or so before. I think
probably have.
Yeah.
Anime NYC is next month.
It's not. Jesus.
Yep.
All right.
Next month.
To piggyback on what Robert was saying about Clayface, I think that might be at New York Comic Con because of the horror aspect.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
I think because it's October, because we got Welcome to Derry there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think it really adds up for that, the more horror type stuff to be at New York Comic Con. It feels right. And there's a different level there for that horror. I'm not saying that you can't do horror in San Diego, obviously, but I think because of the time frame and because it's a little gloomy, maybe it's usually a little bit of a rainy day too. I don't know how they orchestrated it. I guess they got like Cobra Commander on speed dial. And he's like, Weather Dominator, I got you. Click. That reference hurt my back. That was such an old ass reference. I know my sciatica's acting up. So I think that's what makes a little more sense there. So I think we'll probably get something for Clayface there, because those DC panels, like the one for Penguin, was huge.
Oh,
the one for Penguin was huge. Creature Commandos was huge. So I think they do good panels at New York Comic Con. I think it's kind of funny to say that DC is New York, like a Comic Con, and Marvel is San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah.
That's sometimes how I feel about it when I see the response from things and what they put out. But I think it's just timing too. It's just when you don't want to do everything at San Diego Comic Con, you gotta leave some stuff, and it's time appropriate. So I think they kind of split it up and know what to do there. But with Marvel leaving New York, that actually makes sense even more now too, which is a whole other topic that I have been thinking about, honestly, which is there's a hole left in New York, folks. Who wants to fill it? I'll be honest with you, this is I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but there's a hole that's being left in New York from Marvel leaving. So I say, who wants it? Publishers, be the new New York publisher. Do it, run it. Good. I'm looking at you, Unstoppable Comics. I'm looking at you because you're like the first family of comics, I think. But it's gonna be Thursday to Sunday. It's gonna be nonstop. It's gonna be crazy. Real quick, we only got a couple minutes left. Real quick, what is one thing that you would actually venture out there to see at New York Comic Con? If they were to remake a movie, since we had to redo our like whole show thing, if there was a remake of a movie that they were going to be doing an advanced screening of at San Diego Comic Con, what movie would it be that you would go see?
Ooh.
That would actually have me fly. I was going before you said a movie and you said what is the thing. I was about to say a job offer. No, I mean real like
that part.
Yeah, like if it was
part,
just, if it was the thing, it would be a job offer. But if it's a movie, just like wild fan thing, anything set within the Milestone universe, live action or animated, that's what I would. That would be the only thing that, and if it was hosted by Charlotte McDuffie, then I would definitely fly out for that. So
that's his wife, right?
That's his wife. Yeah,
his wife. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard her first name. I think I've only seen her face. I don't think I've ever heard her first name or like seen her first name for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think that script is done.
I mean, it was, man, don't even get me
started. It was done a while ago from when we used to get DC fandom, which I wish we had still gotten, honestly.
Yep.
I wish we still gotten it. But anyway, Java, what about you?
What's the second Joker movie? I don't want them to remake that, but just make it better.
Antonio, watch your face.
They had so much from the first one, and then they just they could have done better. Because okay, I'll play this. Now be brief. The movies I like, I want to keep them without making them a remake. But if they're bad movies, you need to remake these, okay? Yeah. Leave the good untouched.
I've always been, I like that idea. Like, take a movie that just didn't work on any level and try to come at it again, I am never opposed to that. That's why all these Disney live action remakes are kind of weird to me. It's just like, they were good. Like, take the ones that are like off kilter, like do Oliver and Company. Like, why, let me see some singing dogs and cats and shit. Like, I'm sorry. Do the weird ones. I'm sorry. Antonio, what about you? What is yours?
I'm still getting over Joker 2. I'm mad at that answer. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm
When you
sorry.
said Joker 2, it just killed my whole vibe. I was like, I felt like I ordered something at a restaurant and it wasn't good, and I couldn't change my order. And I was like,
But it was just so bad. And I'm like, they
I'm
could have
sure
done
it
better.
was. I never saw it because I
I
knew
still
better.
haven't seen it.
Because I knew better. I wasn't gonna watch that.
Full
Oh,
AMD.
no, I didn't watch it in theater. I watched it on the streaming service. I wasn't wasting my money.
Doesn't matter because I'm still paying for the streaming service. I'm not doing it. I'm so petty. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Damn you.
For me, actually, this is when it's actually being made. Is Highlander
Oh, yeah.
with Cavill.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Highlander fan. Seen all the movies, all of them. Even number 2 was bad. The whole aliens and everything. What the hell?
I was thinking about
I've
the one
seen
with Marvel Van Peebles. I was like, oh.
that one was wild. I've seen all of them from the very first one to the last one where they actually explain the source and how they came to be and the end of the Immortals, literally. I've seen the television series. I've watched the animated movie, and I watched the animated series as well. I am a fan of that franchise, so seeing this will be cool to me. So that would be cool. So, folks, what about you? What would you go to the San Diego Comic-Con to see? What would you cosplay? Would you cosplay? What panels would you go to? We would love to know which one. There's a lot going on there, and it's fun. I think I would only go in an official capacity if there was a job, like Rob was saying, there was some type of job opportunity, and I had to go there, and they were footing the bill for that and the hotel.
Yeah.
Bet I'll go. Cool. But that's our show. Next week, we will be back with our special monthly spotlight, and we will be doing Robert's choice of the 4400 season 1. You can check it on Tubi. 2 seasons. Go check it out. And we'll be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time again, talking about that. And then after that, it'll be our last month before we take a little bit of a break. Because next month is August, correct? Because we'll be taking a break in September, and then we'll be coming back in October. But until then, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Summer of Geek. We are here. So on that note, I am Antonio Pomares, aka the Hungry Bleak, the hungriest man in the room. Joker 2. I'm still trying to get that out.
I'm sorry. This is Doomsday still saying that she's sorry. She's sorry.
Oh shit, I'm Robert. My God. It's been a weird couple of weeks. I will
Time to bed.
say
Robert's just sitting there like,
yeah.
oh, shit.
I was thinking about never mind the Shibusi thing, and then it just kind of it brain freeze. It had a brain freeze because he's gonna have a panel there. So I was like, shit, maybe I should have.
Oh my God.
Anyways.
Oh. You want to outro yourself, Robert? You want to outro? No, all right.
No. I'm Robert. Rob the writer. I write stuff. I write comics.
In these streets, yay! I'll finish off with Robert. It's fine. Y'all have a very good evening. Enjoy the rest of it. Please be safe. Drink water. Take your vitamins. Take your meds, whether it's for physical, emotional, or a mental ailment, because we want you to be the best you that you can be. And as always, yes, I am angry, but I will say a positive thing and do a wonderful thing today. We'll see you next week, folks. Bye. Joker 2.